Falling rates, rising confidence and a tight property market, all signs point to a shifting landscape in Melbourne real estate. I'm Besser from Besser Co and welcome to Beyond the Deal, your monthly deep dive into what's really driving the market. Welcome to the program. In this episode of Beyond the Deal, I'll break down how falling interest rates, rising buyer confidence and a tight supply are setting the stage for the next property cycle in Melbourne. This program is presented by Besser Co Real Estate. To learn more, you can visit besserco.com.au. Now, the Reserve Bank has officially cut interest rates for the second time this year. After months of speculation around whether the drop would be 0.25 or 0.5%, the RBA took a cautious path, citing global uncertainty, even though inflation is finally within the 2 to 3% target band. And what's the result? A serious shift in buyer sentiment. The February rate cut is now fully filtered through, and with the May cut added in, we're seeing more confidence, more inquiries, and more first home buyers actively stepping into the market. Now to prices. Australia's capital city median value rose by 0.5% in May, and that lift has been fueled largely by, you guessed it, first-time buyers. But it's not a free-for-all boom. Tim Lawless, director at Cotality, formerly CoreLogic, says interest rate cuts on their own won't cause another housing surge. That's because factors like cost of living pressure, high household debt are still dragging on momentum. The biggest question? Supply. The National Housing Supply and Affordability Council predicts Australia will fall 262,000 homes short of its 5-year target. Yes, incentives for first home buyers to buy off the plan kick in from January 2026, which should help developers. But right now, the imbalance between supply and demand remains, and that's what could push prices upward again. Now to Melbourne. At Besser Co, we're seeing a shift in real time. The number of active buyers has jumped in Melbourne, particularly first home buyers. But clearance rates aren't just rising because buyers feel better. In many cases, sellers are feeling more confident too, and the current dynamic is creating real opportunities. Take out a standout example where we achieved a better than expected result for a 2-bedroom apartment in Caulfield North, recently sold under the hammer for $976,000. That's proof that quality properties, renovated, move-in ready, are in hot demand. In one of the year's biggest headlines, the Toorak mansion, Toorak, sold in February for over $130 million. Yep, you heard right, setting a new record for Australia's most expensive home. To give you some context, the median price for a 4-bedroom home in Toorak now sits at $6.5 million. But if you head across to Caulfield North, you're looking at a median price of $2.6 million for a 4-bedroom home. However, right now, buyers are looking for value, and they know now is a rare moment to get in before momentum builds. And let me say, markets like this don't last forever. When the tide turns, it turns fast. The saying, whatever you pay today will be cheap tomorrow, it's never been more relevant. Let's look at the rental side. Vacancy is critically low and rents continue to rise. Not at 2023 levels, but still heading up. At Besser Co, our average vacancy for May was just 5.3 days, with some properties leasing in less than 48 hours. And the big players are warning about what's to come. Gurner Group says the rental crisis could last up to 15 years unless government policy changes. That's a huge statement and a warning to anyone thinking rents will flatten soon. We're seeing investors from Perth and Brisbane targeting Melbourne as one of the most affordable capital cities to buy into right now. So if you're thinking about starting or expanding your investment portfolio, now's your window. So here's a snapshot. Rates are down, confidence is rising, demand is growing, and supply is tight. The smart money is already moving, and those who act now are going to be ahead of the curve. This is Beyond the Deal. I'm Besser. If you're thinking about making a move, buying, selling, investing, or leasing, head to besserco.com.au. Thanks for watching, and see you at our next open.